What is an asset protection trust? An asset protection trust is a legal arrangement designed to safeguard an individual's assets from potential future claims by creditors, lawsuits, or judgments. The core principle behind an asset protection trust is to legally separate ownership of assets from the individual who created the trust, making those assets less accessible to outside parties. The functionality of an asset protection trust emanates from its structure and how that structure intersects with the applicable law, with the core legal aspects being the settlor. This is the individual who creates the trust and transfers their assets into it. The trustee. This is an independent third party, which can be an individual or a professional trustee like a bank or trust company, who takes legal ownership and manages the assets within the trust. The trustee has a fiduciary duty to manage the assets in the best interest of the beneficiaries. The beneficiaries. These are the individuals who will ultimately benefit from the assets held in the trust. The settlor can often be a beneficiary of their own asset protection trust, though their access to the funds is typically at the discretion of the trustee. The transfer of assets. The settlor legally transfers ownership of specific assets, like cash, securities, real estate, business interests, etc., from their personal name into the name of the trust. Once transferred, these assets are no longer considered part of the settlor's personal estate. Its irrevocability. A crucial characteristic of most effective asset protection trusts is that they are irrevocable. This means that once the trust is established and assets are transferred, the settlor generally cannot change or revoke the terms of the trust, nor can they reclaim direct ownership of the assets without the consent of the trustee and/or beneficiaries. This loss of control is what provides the protective barrier. The spendthrift provision. Many asset protection trusts include a spendthrift clause, which prevents a beneficiary from voluntarily assigning their interest in the trust to a creditor, and also prevents creditors from attaching to the beneficiary's interest. This in turn facilitates the potential realization of particular benefits from the institution of an asset protection trust, including creditor protection. The primary goal is to shield assets from future creditors, such as those arising from business ventures, professional malpractice claims, personal guarantees, or other unforeseen liabilities. Lawsuit protection. By placing assets into a trust, they can be protected from judgments in lawsuits, making it more difficult for a plaintiff to seize them. Estate planning. Asset protection trusts can also be integrated into broader estate plans to facilitate wealth transfer to heirs, potentially reducing estate taxes in certain jurisdictions, and addressing other matters pertaining to probate. Divorce protection. In some jurisdictions and under specific circumstances, such as assets placed in trust well in advance of a divorce, an asset protection trust may help protect assets from forming part of the assets distributed in the divorce proceedings. Nevertheless, even though it is possible to speak of prospective benefits with any legal structuring, such as an asset protection trust, it is also important to recognize significant legal considerations and limitations, including timing is key. An asset protection trust must be established before any potential claims or lawsuits arise. Attempting to transfer assets into a trust to defraud existing creditors is illegal and can lead to the trust being unwound, known as a fraudulent conveyance. Loss of control. Because the trust is typically irrevocable, the settlor gives up direct control over the assets placed in the trust. The trustee manages the assets according to the trust's terms. Complexity and cost. Setting up an asset protection trust is a sophisticated legal process that requires the expertise of an experienced estate planning lawyer. There are also ongoing administrative costs, including trustee fees and tax filings. Tax implications. Trusts are separate legal entities and have their own tax rules. The tax treatment can vary depending on the type of trust and the jurisdiction. Jurisdiction. The effectiveness of an asset protection trust can depend heavily on the laws of the jurisdiction where the trust is established, such as domestic asset protection trusts versus foreign or offshore asset protection trusts. Asset protection trusts are a powerful yet complex legal tool for individuals seeking to proactively protect their wealth from future financial risks. They invariably require careful planning and professional guidance to ensure that they are legally sound and effectively meet their intended purpose and requirements of all pertinent laws. To learn about our law firm's strategic legal work in the realm of tax and estate planning, visit our law firm's website or contact our law firm to schedule a confidential consultation. Thank you.